here at the Detroit Policy Conference. It's always a good opportunity to take a step back and take a look at where we are in the city of Detroit and what our next challenges are. So joining me now again, Nolan Finley and Stephen Henderson. So
I'm back, but I'm on the other seat. I'm in the other chair.
I know, we kind of switch things around. We kind of like to play like a little fast and loose here at the Policy Conference. Exactly. So it was interesting, both of you guys moderated panels today. Nolan, you moderated looking at the role of philanthropy in the city of Detroit. And we know that big cities all across the country have a lot of philanthropic organizations that help shore up a lot of things. Is Detroit different? Are we in a more unique position than other cities?
Well, Dave Egner made the point during our session of the Ralph Wilson Foundation that Detroit actually is a much richer foundation community than most other cities. And during the city's crises, the bankruptcy, the troubles at City Hall, these foundations had to step up and fill the gaps, both in leadership and vision for the city. And they kept, with their giving and with their leadership, they kept the momentum going in the city through those hard times when really there was nobody else to take charge.
So do you think the city relied too much on the nonprofit sector?
Well, too much is an interesting term. I mean, they relied a lot on it, and it can't sustain itself over time. I think the point is that a lot of that is going to have to become displaced by private investment. There's also some spaces where philanthropy has crept into what government should be doing. I think there's no hope that government will ever have, again, the resources to be able to do that. So then there's a question about who does those things as well. But philanthropy can't sustain, I think, the level of investment that it's been doing.
They filled a gap, and now they're evolving into their next role, and it's all about partnerships, collaborations, working with each other, but also working with the city, working with private business. That was a unique period. And they did play their role differently during that period. Now they're moving into a new role.
And I think the collaboration is a really interesting point, but also to make a point about the Ralph Wilson Foundation, they've got to spend $1.2 billion in 20 years between here in Detroit and in Buffalo.
And with the stock market surging, they can give away money fast enough to keep the interest from catching up. I said Dave Egner's the only guy who wants to jump out a window because the stock market went up.
It's going up.
He definitely has his work cut out.
They started with $1 billion, now they have $1.2 billion or something like that.
All right, but Stephen, you moderated a panel looking at neighborhoods, neighborhood development,
economic development,
and how those two things go hand in hand as well. What were some of the things that you got out of that?
There was a really interesting exchange between Council President Brenda Jones and Maurice Cox, who's the city's planning director, about this question of community benefits. We were talking generally about the idea that neighborhoods and people who live in neighborhoods need to benefit from development. They went right to the meat of it, right? How should we make sure that the community benefits? And it was clear that Council President Jones still has some pretty sore feelings about what happened last year with the two ordinances. The one that passed was not the one she favored. Maurice Cox was trying to make the case that he thinks this will make it better somehow for residents in the city.
Well, you're talking to Maurice Cox as well, and all the different things that they're doing in a lot of key neighborhoods around the city, but making sure that they do have also the input from the residents who are living there. So when you're going forward with a lot of these new development plans, are talking about how you're going to remake some spaces, that the people who are living there have a lot of input in it as well.
Well, there's inherent benefits from development. Brings jobs, brings tax revenue, helps rejuvenate neighborhoods. So there is direct benefit from the investment themselves. You've got to be very careful in terms of not making these agreements become a shakedown that makes it too expensive to do the sort of developments we want and need in Detroit.
The problem, of course, is that's a hard sell to someone who lives at 7 in Gratiot, okay, or 7 in Evergreen, places that are really not seeing life change as a result of these things. They see all the stuff that's happening downtown, and they're wondering, well, when is it our turn? And so I do think the city, and that's one of the roles of government, is to make sure that the deals we get into, the things we do to make the city attractive to businesses and to get private investment, have really direct benefits for the people who live here. I don't know if an ordinance was the right way to do it. There are lots of ways that cities do it, but there has to be more attention than we have been paying in Detroit.
All right, well, it's always nice to take the show on the road, guys. It's good to see you. Stephen
here.
Henderson, Nolan Finley. And that is going to do it for MiWeek in Detroit. Catch up with us on Facebook and Twitter at MiWeek.org. For all of us at Detroit Public TV, I'm Christy McDonald. Thanks for watching and supporting public television. We couldn't do it without you. We'll see you next time. Take care.